Oh, yeah, I forgot I saw that. Things to say, things to say. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heroes of Handheld. This is episode 238 of the world's premium podcast dedicated to handheld gaming. We've been around for, well, as you heard, over 237 episodes because this is 238. And we like to talk about everything handheld gaming. So in the past, it was the old 3DS and the PlayStation Vita. But as we've evolved and gone through time, it's now mostly Nintendo Switch and mobile every now and then. My name's Colin. I'm wearing a Christmas jumper. Oh boy, Christmas jumper with a well, let's you know what? Because for the viewers, not the viewers, for the listeners at home who haven't got the benefit of the Google YouTube vid, Chris, describe this Christmas jumper that I'm wearing.
It's got it's got a small blonde boy holding his hands to his face, and it says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Sounds a bit creepy when you say it like that. It doesn't sound very joyful at all.
Yeah, ho ho ho, indeed.
No, so there you go. I'll let everyone use their imaginations there. But yeah, it's also because it's bloody freezing at the moment. So cold. So cold. Honestly, the temperature has plummeted, but we're getting near to Christmas. And that means a big film came out. That wasn't really a good segue, but you know what I'm saying here. You know, as you get towards Christmas, there's always like the big blockbuster that they release that they want families of people of all ages to go and see. And there's quite a few coming out, actually. We've got the new Wreck-It Ralph at the end of this month, and we've also got Mary Poppins next month, which I'm
and
about.
The new Pokemon movie on Saturday.
Is that Saturday already?
Yeah, Saturday. Really? Pokemon movie, The Power of Us, and I'm going to see it.
Brilliant. I've only heard about this today, so I'm surprised it's coming out so soon. Is it a continuation of the I Choose You? Is it that sort of ilk?
It's within that universe.
Just no, don't want to think of any more original stories. Let's just reboot it, start again.
Well, I don't know, because I don't remember seeing a Lugia film, but maybe I haven't seen a lot of the Pokemon films. But I'm excited, man. I'm gonna see it on the big screen. I'm gonna sit there by myself. I'm gonna eat a massive bag of M&Ms, and I'm gonna talk about where it all went wrong.
Now the problem is with M&Ms, like if it depends which ones you have. If you've got the crispy ones, that's going to cause a lot of noise. So that's against the code of the cinema. So how would you play it with sweets in the cinema, Chris? I just want to know. Actually, this is quite an interesting point to me, anyway.
Yeah,
I always like to have. You see people who rip open their bag of sweets and demolish their popcorn before the film has even started. Like as they're watching the trailers and the adverts, they're already through, and that's it. I personally have to wait until the film has started to munch on my snacks, because otherwise, you've got a long time to wait without any sustenance and any sugar. So how do you feel about that, Chris, and your M&Ms? What would you do? Would you, as soon as you sat down, do you open up the pack and scoff, or do you have to wait until the film has actually started?
I will have a couple during the trailers, and I'll have a couple during the first third of the film. I don't tend to eat much after the halfway point. I just need them to get me through. But I do. The thing I find at the cinema is that I really don't like it when people bring in hot food, and I hate how cinemas now sell like nachos and hot dogs, because like being trapped in a confined space with those hot smells, I find really grim.
Well, at my local cinema, my local Odeon, they actually sell pizza now as well. Fresh pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, and it's actually so you can get on a platter and you can have it whilst you're sat in your seat. So there you go. But saying that, I went and saw a film on Monday night, the new Fantastic Beasts film, which I know you've seen as well. And the couple next to me were not noshing on sweets or popcorn or anything like that. They were noshing on a full-blown Nando's. And I'm not even kidding.
Oh, that's so
Nando's
gross.
in a
Did you
bag.
tell anyone?
No, but I'm not going to lie. It actually smelled quite good. So I let them get away with it. Nando's smells great.
Yeah, it's just the thing is they do all smell good, but it's just being like, I hate being trapped in the like confined space.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And it's so antisocial as well. Like, imagine being so self-important that you go to a film and think, oh, I'll just eat my dinner. Like, fuck off. I'm sorry, but I really hate that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I mean, snacks are fine. I think nachos, as much as I love nachos, they should be banned from cinemas, to be fair, because they're messy, they have strong smells, obviously with all the sauces, and you can't eat them quietly either. They make a very distinct crunch. So Yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's talk about Fantastic Beasts very quickly. So that happened. That was a thing. We both saw it. What did you think of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? The Crimes of Grindelwald.
In case you can't tell, we're quite low on news this week as well.
What? No, really?
I thought it was pretty poor. I would give it a 4 out of 10. I found it really dull. And I liked Newt Scamander and I liked the Beast. I just found everything else so boring. And I was watching it like, who gives a shit about any of this? And like, I like Harry Potter and I like the Harry Potter films and I love the books, but I was just like, this is not nearly on the same level as Harry Potter. It's so dull.
It was a strange one, really. It was a bit of an overload of characters and subplots and plot lines and things like that. And Chris is just gone. He's just disappeared. So there you go. But let's continue the talk on Fantastic Beasts 2, Crimes of Grindelwald. I sort of agree with Chris in a way. It was a little bit... Oh, here he is. There he is. He's back, I think. His picture's there, but he ain't moving, so I'll keep talking. Yeah, I mean, I had high hopes actually for this second film. I liked the first one. You know, it wasn't amazing. It set the scene. I mean, I love, as Chris says as well, I love Harry Potter. I love the books. I love everything about that world. And I think there's so many different avenues they can explore within that wizarding world. It doesn't necessarily have to be around Harry Potter, because it's such a massive universe anyway. And I like the first one because it sort of set the scene for films to come. The second one, I liked it. I thought it was good, but I can understand all the criticisms that a lot of people have been giving it, like reviewers. There was just too much going on. They were trying to cram too much into one story. It's because I think one of my favorite reviewers, Mark Commode, actually described it best. Like, they were trying too hard to get all the pieces into place to make it a proper prequel to the Harry Potter films. Like, they were name-dropping characters, there were big reveals of certain things, and characters who are mentioned in the Harry Potter universe were in it as well. I mean, it was good. There's some really great set pieces. I thought Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, he looked the part, but I didn't think he was utilized enough. And I would like a bit more information as to why he is the way he is in terms of his thoughts on wanting to control the world, basically, and put the Muggles in their place, or no mages in their place. But yeah, I think it was good. The characters, it was well played, well acted. There was some story twists that were a bit like, okay, really, that's where they're going with this. And the big reveal at the end was a little bit like, okay, right, this makes no sense in terms of the overall Harry Potter world, but there you go. Let's see how they do it in the next film. But it did feel like a lot similar to how I felt with Jurassic World, actually. How it felt like the film was just there to be a stepping stone for the next film. And I think they've said they're making 5 films in the Fantastic Beasts franchise, so we've got a long way to go. And even though they're saying this film hasn't made as much money as the other Harry Potter films in its opening week, it still made a lot of money because, you know, it is going to make a lot of money. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see the next film, see where they go with it. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I actually didn't find myself getting bored. In Jurassic World, I was really bored throughout the whole thing. The amount of dinosaurs in it, for Pete's sake. I just didn't find myself bored. Maybe it's just the whole universe interests me in the whole setting.
You do not find at the end, right? Without spoilers, don't worry. But the last couple of scenes with Johnny Depp and the climax of the film,
yeah,
I was watching it like it was just this hulking, like, for me, it was such a massive mess of CGI. It's just like,
you mean the big end battle?
Yeah, the thing. And it's like in the Harry Potter films, you know, you had stuff at the end, but it felt like intimate and personal. And like at the end of Goblet of Fire, when Cedric, you know, it's like, oh man, that's so sad. Yeah. Like, but this, it was just like, I don't know. I was just watching it like, what is going on here? And also, Colin, here's what really annoyed me.
Here we go.
In Harry Potter, they're like, oh, you know, anyone who could do wandless and wordless magic must be a really powerful wizard. That's like, ooh, that's pretty strong. In this, they just magic everything. There's no spells. No one says any words or anything. They're just like waving their hands around.
Yeah, don't you remember the books? They don't have to do that. They think the spell in their head and it works.
Yeah, but the point of you need a wand, don't you, to be like you need a what most wizards need a wand, but they
Yeah.
were just shit was just happening without.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I don't remember any specific moments where they didn't have a wand because I'm not going to say what I was going to say because it's a bit of a spoiler. But I thought most of them had wands. Yeah.
Just no, it just annoyed me how overly designed everything was.
Yeah, I mean, the bit you're referring to at the end, it did seem a bit random. Like, yeah, I mean, the bit after they left the initial bit, and then there's like, oh, they thought, oh, let's add another bit of climatic
Yeah,
epic
yeah.
CGI in for. It was a very Lord of the Ring-esque, actually. Made me think of not Lord of the Rings.
Don't dare compare it to Lord of the Rings.
The Hobbit, that sort of thing. One of the films.
Yeah, the Hobbit. That's fair.
Yeah, but it was all right. It was good. I'll watch the next one. But I'm very.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'll still go back. Go back.
Talking of Harry Potter, this was on Thursday last week. HQ trivia is still a thing. It's not as popular as it used to be. And I remember back in the day, Chris actually won HQ trivia back in the early days when not many people were playing it. So he won a fair amount, if I remember rightly. Was it 30, 40 quid or something?
I've won twice, Colin. Don't
what? Suck my dick. No way.
Yes, I won in like March and I won again in like May.
Oh, brilliant. But we don't care about you now. It's all about my time here.
I know. Well done.
Last week was the special. They have these special theme nights on Thursdays on HQ Trivia, and it was Harry Potter last week. And Harry Potter is quite a strong subject of mine. It was the books. It was actually mixed between the books and the films. And I actually won, which was very exciting. But unfortunately, it was a £1,000 prize, and because over 2,000 people won, I only got 46p. But oh well, it's taking part. That counts, and. Yeah, at least it proved to me that it is all genuine. That 46p was in my PayPal account before the night was over.
Was it really?
Woo! Could maybe just about afford a Freddo, depending on where Brexit goes, to be honest. So there you go. Right, so let's move on and actually talk about some gaming news, because there is a little bit to talk about. I mean, it is the day before Thanksgiving, I think. I'm not very in tune with my American holidays, which means that it's coming up to Black Friday. Now, Black Friday was something big. It's big in America. You know, the supermarkets, the shops all do massive sales. And over here, because we don't like to feel left out, I think it must be about 3-4 years ago that the UK started using Black Friday as well as an excuse to cut prices and things like that. And this year is no different. And we've got a few offers already in place. And obviously, there's offers on loads of different things from different companies, but we care specifically about the gaming deals. So I just want to quickly read through this is from IGN, our good friends over at IGN, and they've compiled a list of, this is as of today, so Wednesday, the 21st of November, what they think is the top 10 deals for Black Friday. And looking through the list here, there's a few, I mean, I'd imagine the big one that people are looking for is Nintendo Switch and deals on that. And there's actually a very good deal on Amazon UK, which I think is really good. You can get Nintendo Switch for, and this is the neon red, neon blue one, which is the one I've got, for £249, which I think is pretty good. Does that come with any games? Let me double check. No, it doesn't. Just the console. So it was £279. Now it's £249. So 5. Well, it's £30 cheaper, which is all right. You know, if you haven't got a Nintendo Switch, now's probably the time to jump in with all the epic games coming out at the end of this year. So that's a good deal there. Chris, are you in the market for buying anything gaming related in Black Friday this year?
I am looking at. There's only one game I want to get whilst it's Black Friday. No, that's a lie. There's two. One is I want to get the Spyro collection. If I can find anywhere that is doing a little.
But don't you want it? Don't you want it on Switch?
I don't.
I really want to play it, but I'm holding out for Switch.
No, because Spyro will always feel like PlayStation to me. You know.
Oh, right.
And the other one is the Diablo 3 Eternal collection on Switch, which I'm gonna see. I want someone to drop it to like 35. I think that's probably doable.
Yeah. I would like to get, you just reminded me actually about games. I was thinking of games that I would really want to get, as you know, if there's a good deal on them. I think Mario Odyssey, I think I finally need to lay down some more on that, because I've played it. I have played it in the past around someone's house, and it was really good, and I fell in love with it, and I've just not gone back to it because it's so expensive. So expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's worth every penny, Colin. What else are you looking out for?
Well, in terms of what I'm looking out for, I'd like to get the Sonic Plus, Mania Plus. That's what I really want to get on my Switch. In terms of other games, I'm just going to look out and see what there is, you know. I'm open. I need a new game in my life because I've not really played my Switch in ages. And I really want to play the Spyro trilogy, as you said, but I just want it on Switch. I'd love, having it portable and handheld would be great, like the Insane trilogy, which works so well on Nintendo Switch. So I'll hold out on that. But I'm just going to quickly go through this list, actually. A few more offers for Black Friday, which are gaming related, which will be of relevance to us. And one of the offers here is a Nintendo 2DS XL with free games. And that was £249.96, but it's now £129.99, which is a really good saving, actually. And the games are Animal Crossing, Sonic Boom. I think you can choose between these games. So it's either Animal Crossing, Sonic Boom, Mario and Luigi, and there's a Zelda game here, but it's covered up by an advert on this annoying website. So The Legend of Zelda something on 2DS XL. So yeah, look out for that. But this is through actually Nintendo Store. So the official Nintendo Store. So that's actually pretty good. Oh no, here we are. Here are the free games. So it's Zelda, Triforce Heroes, Sonic Boom, Shatter Crystal, and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. So you get those free games with a 2DS XL, and it's saying you have a saving of almost £120. That's actually really good. So if you're looking to get a 2DS XL or 3DS, a console that plays 2DS games, 3DS games, then this is a big deal. It's a big offer. Really good discount there. So definitely check that out. And one more, which I want to talk about, is the fact that if you where's it gone? Here we go. You get a free Nintendo Switch with Huawei and Nokia 10GB contracts with EE.
Ooh.
There you go. So there you go.
I believe, not to be a prick, you're going to think I'm messing you around, but I believe it's pronounced Huawei.
I have no idea what it's pronounced. Huawei.
I saw it on an advert, and they were calling it the Huawei.
Why is there a H in it then? That makes no sense.
Because it's not an English word.
That's so stupid, Chris. And also, you get 12 months of PlayStation Plus for £40. That's down £10. So yeah, that's good. So that's a few deals there, and I'm sure more will come out. I know Game haven't showed their hand yet. Game normally wait until the actual day or Thursday night to. I'm talking about the UK company Game. They wait until the Thursday night to reveal their discount. So I know how long it's been since I queued up and got an Xbox One. That must be about 4 or 5 years ago. 3, 4, 5.
I think my PlayStation was 3 years ago.
Yeah, so it must be the same. 3 years. It feels longer than that. It feels like I've had that console years and years.
I think it was 3 because I was in my old flat. Then we moved in 2016. So yeah, it must be 3.
Crazy. So there's some deals for you, but there'll be more. And also, can I just quickly mention another bit of news? Have you ever played Outrun?
No.
Outrun is an awesome game from Sega, which came out initially in 1986, and it's a racing game, 2D pixelated racing game, where it was a race against the clock, really. You had to go through different zones and go past different obstacles, and you had to get to the finish line before the time ran out. By getting to the finish line of that section, you then got an extended timer, and then it went on and on from there. I used to play it quite a lot in arcades growing up. I used to really love it, but it's been revealed that it's actually coming to Nintendo Switch as part of the console's ongoing Sega Ages lineup, which is very exciting. It's saying that we can expect it by the end of this year, which isn't very long, so very soon. And I'd be interested to check that out. So I mean, they've got the price for Nintendo for the Switch in Japan, 925 yen, which is about £6.40. Oh yeah, the release at the end of this year is only in Japan, so they're still waiting for details of a release over in the West. But I'll be up for playing Outrun. I thought it was a really fun game. They released a updated version of it. It must be about 10 years ago now, with updated graphics and things. And it was really fun to play it in arcade, with the sitting on the seat with the steering wheel and the pedals. Ever so much fun. So yeah, I'm excited for Outrun. I think that'd be cool on Switch. Really
yeah, that sounds good.
Well. Yeah. So I just want to mention that. What's going on in your neck of the woods, Chris?
Right, Colin.
Yeah, man.
Before we get too far into anything else, because we are going to be talking about Pokemon Let's Go, I have not been playing this game, but I have been watching my partner play because she got it last week. And initially, I was like, "Do you want to come on the podcast?" Yeah, of course. Blah blah blah. Anyway, she had double booked. So you might be thinking, why is Chris not properly reviewing Pokemon Let's Go? And it's because of that. But maybe next week. But that's by the by. But I've been watching someone else play it, obviously. And it is. I would love to know what our loyal listeners think of it. At Handheld Podcast on Twitter. It's quite cute to watch. I must say, it looks very simple, especially compared to current Pokemon games, but it does look very fun and very sweet. And if you've got like nice nostalgic memories of Pokemon Yellow, then I think it's really going to appeal to people. So that's why we're not doing like a full review of it. But I just thought I'd say, like, if you've heard, I don't know what people have heard about it, but for me, I was really surprised with how gorgeous it looked, and especially the fights look really good on the Switch and the big screen, like especially compared to how they used to look on mobile. I will say that it looks like very basic, but also I think it's quite. I think if people want a challenging Pokemon game, it's probably not the one to go for, but maybe the post game is a bit stronger. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought I should mention that. But it's been really interesting this week because the other thing about Colin, you can mute your mic if you're talking to Shona.
I'm not talking. You can't hear me.
The other thing about Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is that there's been a real interesting discussion this week around how accessible it is for disabled gamers and gamers with accessibility issues. So we have had some interesting reports coming in. The first thing that I saw is that the organization dedicated to deafness and deaf gamers said that it's a really great game for deaf people to play. Like they were saying, it's the most kind of well suited for the hard of hearing, and for deaf people, like they get the same experience as people with full hearing. But in the same breath, there's been loads of articles this week about the fact, basically, Colin, when you're playing this game, right? If you play it on the TV, the only way you can control it is by using a single Joy-Con. You do everything with that. You move, you fight, you select, but also you do all the capturing. So you do all the throwing of balls and stuff.
Yeah.
If you play in handheld mode, you can play with both thumbsticks, or you can play with just one Joy-Con, and you can catch by moving the thumbstick around and selecting. So gamers with accessibility issues, it's a lot easier to do that depending on your particular case. But it's been really interesting because there's been this quite a big backlash from the Switch community that's saying, like, Nintendo's meant to be the game system for everyone. Why, when you're playing on the big screen, can you not have the opportunity to turn on the ability to play without motion controls? This is becoming a bit of a bugbear for Nintendo, because it was the same issue when Super Mario Odyssey came out. There were certain moves that were only really accessible by motion control, by shaking and by jamming and whatever. And it's a little bit, to be honest, I find it quite frustrating. And I think it's quite sad as well, because not only is it sad for the gamers who are having troubles playing, but it's also like Xbox, who I've never owned an Xbox console in my life, and I probably never will. They've made a real push this year to be like, if you have accessibility issues, we're launching this new controller. We want everyone to be able to play our games in the best way possible. And it's so sad and so frustrating to see Nintendo being like, if you have accessibility issues, tough shit. You don't get to play Pokemon, which is like, meant to be the super friendly and accessible franchise. So there's an article on Kotaku about it by Laura Kate Dale, which I think is really worth a read. Laura's a really good writer anyway, but this is a very interesting take on, why is it people with certain conditions can't play, and how frustrating it is. And like, it just seems so short-sighted. Nintendo seem to be so stuck in their ways with certain things, and this is another classic case of like, why can't you just have the option there? Because adding the option in doesn't take away the experience from people who want to play with motion controls, but it means that people who don't want to play with motion controls don't get the full game.
Yeah, it's strange that there's no ability to remove it, because it doesn't really make a difference, does it, if it's there or not? Makes
And
no
when you
difference
play
to
in
gameplay.
handheld mode, you can remove it. Like that's what's so annoying is it's coded into the game because handheld players, oh yeah, very frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe well, you'd think like they would have done their research before making that decision, and maybe they found that more people wanted to have the whole experience of pretending to throw a Pokeball with your Joy-Con and it's smashing the TV.
Yeah, I just don't know whether there's the option though.
No, no, it is a shame. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about this. I've seen a lot of things on Facebook about it, and not Facebook, on Reddit about it.
Mm.
So wait and see whether there's any update on this as we get further down the line. But yeah, it is a shame. It's a shame. It just seems silly to me. Such a simple thing to add in. It doesn't, it doesn't take anything away from the actual game itself or the content or the story. So yeah, it's just silly. Well, maybe they wanted it to be properly integrated with Pokemon Go, and obviously that's all about flicking and things like that, and actually having the motion that you are properly catching a Pokemon.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
I've got 2 bits of Pokemon news that I'm going to hand over to you to talk about the E3 stuff, Colin. Pokemon Go is getting a new legendary raid battle. I've seen it today, but I haven't fought it yet, which is the psychic Pokemon Cresselia. Joins raid battles. Well, it's already out. I know because I saw it earlier. So this is new for Pokemon Go. I've not had a chance to fight one yet, but if you're particularly keen on this Pokemon, then it's out. So go and take it on raid battles. And speaking of Pokemon, and this is really adorable, Colin.
Yeah.
Tamagotchi are releasing an Eevee edition in 2019. And you need to click on the picture because it's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
Where is this picture?
It's on the article. You just click on the link next to Eevee Tamagotchi. I'll lay them out for you.
Tamagotchi. What is that? Oh, right. That's the one article I missed. Okay, let's have a look.
And it looks just so pretty.
It looks pretty, but Tamagotchi is boring. I remember about 5-6 years ago when we were at university, we went through this weird phase of wanting to play Tamagotchi.
No, don't. You went through the weird. I never bought one. You made it weird.
Someone sort of bought it for me and I had to pay them, and it was actually really crap. And I sort of regretted doing it. And I thought, you know what, this was good back in the day, but now it's just a bit, we don't really need this in our lives anymore. Yeah. Because they poo everywhere, they die really quickly. And no, they don't die actually. They just leave, don't they? They put their stuff in a little bag and they walk off if you don't look after them.
Yeah, if you don't feed them.
So yeah, I ain't got time for that. But I've got to say, the actual design around the screen is very pretty. I do like it. Cool color. Your designs here are really cool. I like the little Eevee sleeping there on the pink one. That's quite.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it will come out over here. Probably not.
Probably. Well, yeah, it might be. You might be able to export it or get it over here somehow. Who knows? Chris, are you surprised that PlayStation have pulled out of E3 2019?
Yeah, this is the big talking point, really. I was surprised, and I think it's a shame because I think I realize that they're probably going for like we're so big we don't need E3. But the fact they've said there's not going to be any presence at all just makes me a little bit sad.
Because they have their own thing, like they have the PlayStation Experience event and things like that, don't they? So maybe
they do.
Maybe they're pushing for their own thing. Because aren't there other studios who do this now who don't go to E3? I can't remember the name of them. There's one last year that had one the same sort of time, and it was
there's EA do their kind of events at the same time, but they still have a conference, and similarly Nintendo don't always have a presence, but they still they don't necessarily do a press conference, but they still have a presence and a digital conference. Whereas PlayStation have just said no, we're not doing it.
It's almost like they're trying to do like an Apple thing, isn't it? Where they're trying to set the trend, where they're like, oh yeah, as you said, they're too big. Then Apple are like that as well, aren't they? They're like, oh, we're gonna change how headphones work and everyone's going to follow us because we're the trendsetters. But it's interesting because Nintendo and Xbox have jumped on the bandwagon of saying how important E3 is now and how they can't wait to show off their games. They've sort of taken advantage of the negativity that's surrounded this announcement. I mean, initially when I heard this, I thought it was because they were going to take a year off because they're focusing on creating the next PlayStation, and maybe they're waiting for a big reveal in 2020. But doesn't seem to be the case. It is really just it seems to be they don't want to be there for some reason. Could be connotations with this.
Well,
money trouble. I mean, nothing good to show. Who knows?
The theorizing that I'm seeing everywhere is it's because they want they'll be doing the PS5 and they want to be able to kind of have all the press attention and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It's very strange.
It's weird to think that E3 is only about half a year away now, isn't it? It's
Oh,
June.
don't.
Is it June? I know it's insane. It just comes around so quick. But all the big studios are going to be there. Activision, Ubisoft, Warner Bros. Entertainment, they're going to be there. I mean, all these ones are going to be there, but no PlayStation. It will be really strange not having the PlayStation conference to talk about. But you'd imagine at the same sort of time that PlayStation will do something, like maybe announce something separately or release a trailer for something or drop some sort of teaser. It was very odd, like with all this gaming news coming out at E3 with Nintendo, Xbox, and whatever, that PlayStation just keeps silent. It's interesting.
It's interesting as well how PlayStation announced this, and then both Nintendo and Microsoft came out and said, no, like we'll still do it. Like Nintendo, said E3 is an outstanding opportunity for us to share new games and experiences with fans. And Microsoft said E3 is an incredible platform to showcase the vibrancy and creativity of the video game industry. Personally, I think it's a shame because I think a lot of companies rely on PlayStation's presence in that conference. And I feel like it's letting them down. And also, E3 is an event that the public can buy tickets for. And I think I find it a little bit jarring as well that they don't want, it feels like they don't want to show to them. I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit taking their ball and going home.
It's almost like, they're snubbing the fans. That's what it seems like, isn't it? Because as we've said, Nintendo and Xbox are jumping on the whole, it's for the fans, we want to share it with our fans, we care about our fans. And it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
In the past, PlayStation have really been in that sort of, that's been their phrasing, isn't it? It's for the players. This is really against that. So it'd be interesting. I think there's more to this than what we've heard. I think PlayStation will probably show their hand soon. And I would imagine there's going to be something up their sleeve. It just seems very random and very odd and out of place. And it shocked everyone. I mean, no one really expected this at all. It wasn't like, oh, they might not attend next year. Who knows? It was like, oh my God, what? No PlayStation at E3?
Yeah, so weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So there you go. Is there any other news, Chris?
Is there any other news? Well, there is one bit of news, Colin.
Oh, come on then.
Just to give it to you. The Golden Joysticks last week. Some interesting results from there. But the Nintendo Game of the Year, sponsored or presented by Kotaku UK, third place was Detective Pikachu. In second place, you had, just waiting for this thing to load, Hollow Knight, which is interesting. I don't know if I'd say it's a Nintendo game. But the winner is a game neither of us have played, Octopath Traveler.
Brilliant. The name I always hear, I have no idea what it is.
So congratulations to them. I mean, some really interesting winners from the Golden Joysticks. God of War won loads of awards, best storytelling, PlayStation Game of the Year. Sony Santa Monica won Studio of the Year. But the ultimate game of the year went to Fortnite, which, as you can imagine, got people very angry on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. How are the votes done for this? Is it the public or is it?
I don't know, actually. I'm not too sure.
I don't really know. Like, thinking about it, I wouldn't really think, like, if there was a panel of judges who are in the industry, I wouldn't really thought they would choose Fortnite. But then I can't really see the world choosing Fortnite either. The public.
I could see the public choosing it because just people love playing it, don't they? And like,
but it's cool to hate Fortnite, isn't it? People love to hate it.
I mean, if they love it, but it's also very, very, very popular. And like, people like making their voices heard, don't they?
But then I feel the Fortnite fan base are a lot younger and won't necessarily know about these awards and won't care.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd say.
There you go.
What to say?
Hard to beat. You know I love you. Do you remember that? Do you remember Hardfi?
I do, yeah. Stars of CCTV.
Where the stars of CCTV.
How could I forget?
Amazing. Amazing. Chris, what's the deadline now? What's the countdown for Smash?
It is 2 weeks and 3 days away.
There we go.
Oh boy. Oh mama. Oh mama.
Oh, it's going to be big.
Can't believe it. So close.
I know, it's crazy. When they first said December, we thought, oh my God, it's like, no.
I know. It seems so far away. And then we got to the halfway point, and now we're almost bloody there.
Unbelievable. Next week will be a week nearer. And it'll also be last week of November. Exciting.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Cool. Well, Christopher, I think we should wrap things up now. I think we've come here, we've done what we set out to do. We've hopefully left the listeners with a little bit more knowledge than what they came in with. So how can they get in contact with us?
Right. Here's how it works. Twitter, @handheld podcast. Emails, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook by searching for Heroes of Handheld. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell a friend if you like it. Tell a friend if you don't. Hey, rate us on iTunes, 5 stars. Thank you very much. Jobs are good in. We will be back next Wednesday, just like we are every Wednesday, unless Colin has a bomb he wants to drop that he won't be here next Wednesday.
No,
I'm sure he will.
I'll be here.
Good boy. And yeah, we'll be back in a week's time. I don't think I forgot anything, Colin.
Schnell's Radio Orchestra.
Oh yeah, Shaz Radio Orchestra made our theme tune many years ago, and it's great. It's from the album Music for a 1950s Video Game, and the theme's called Insert Coin, and you should stream their music if you like them.
You should indeed.
Bye!
Bye everyone. Thank you for listening. Speak to you soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.